now listening to the Good Bad Advice Podcast with Stephanie and Chase.
Hello. We got to do it because it's spooky month. We got to have done our, we just naturally, and then as soon as we started doing it, I thought, ooh, this is good for a little spooky. Ooh,
hello.
Come in if you dare. Welcome, you guys, to the Good Bad Advice Podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Chase.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we give advice to people in the news who didn't ask for it, but desperately need it, I feel like.
Yeah. Fully unsolicited. But that's my favorite kind of advice to give.
100%. I think we're getting pros now. In fact, we celebrated our 1 month anniversary of the podcast this past week.
Are we like podcasters?
Oh. In the big podcast book, which is the only material I've read in preparation to do a podcast.
Yeah.
They said that the vast majority of podcasts die after 7 episodes. And guess what number this is?
Oh, guess what number you're listening
8,
to?
baby. We have lived. You didn't get us. Terrible podcast statistic.
Get us a trophy.
Yeah. So thank you so much to everybody who's listened. It is kind of crazy to think that thousands of our podcast for a month old has had thousands of downloads.
Yeah.
And that's so exciting.
Honestly nuts that 1,000 people have spent more than like 20 minutes listening to us.
Yeah.
I, at very small times, can find us to be a little bit insufferable, but mostly hilarious.
I'm about a 50-50, but that's because I'm a little bit more nervous.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So thank you all for listening. We are very grateful, and we just get to have fun doing this, and we're like so grateful that other people just want to sit and have fun with us for an hour a week.
My friend Hannah, shout out Hannah, sent me a message this past week. It said, Chase, I don't know why I haven't listened at all. I'm only on episode 1, but I love feeling like we're hanging out all the time. And I was like, that's exactly what this is meant to be, or meant to feel like. So welcome everybody to our hangout this week. We have a very important week. This is the Eras Tour cinematic experience for us in just a couple of days. Are you prepping? Like, how are you getting prepared for the show?
Yeah, so I'm currently on a juice cleanse.
You're going to pass out.
I did an enema yesterday.
A colonic. An at-home colonic. Thanks, Shannon Bador.
Yes, thank you, Shannon Bador, for your at-home colonic with Dr. Moon. No, I'm getting limber. Mm-hmm. I'm doing some squats to get out of my seat and get back into my seat. I'm just doing a lot of those.
Are you practicing holding a bucket of popcorn? A tin?
Oh, yeah. No,
because you'll need to make sure you get the aerodynamic part of that. That's going to be a challenge.
I'm holding a 2-pound weight while I do my squats.
That's your Stanley.
I didn't think the Stanley and the popcorn. I need a 2-pound weight in each hand. I also have my purse full of candy over my shoulder. So I have a purse.
And we're gonna bake a treat right beforehand. We talked about doing the pumpkin maple brown butter bars.
That's a good idea.
We should bring those and just pass them out to people in the thing.
Would you take a homemade treat from somebody in the movie theater?
Absolutely not. I think that now that as soon as I heard it and visualized me with like this Rubbermaid, like separated with paper towels and being like, oh my gosh, we're so excited for the show. Take one.
Just grab one.
Yeah, no, actually, we can't do that. We could bring our own, but we can't share it. What's the craziest thing you ever snuck into a movie theater?
Maybe like Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Oh, is yours like drugs? You looked at me like...
I was like, that's the craziest thing is like that's so concealable.
I snuck in like a Chick-fil-A like meal, like in a purse, like I had condiments.
Got it.
I sat down.
One time, this is an honesty. I used to live just across the street from my movie theater, and I one time brought in a bowl of cereal, like a bowl, half gal of milk, a box of cereal. And I just carried it straight into the movie theater. There was a couple years,
though, that they were very lax on what you brought in.
Have you ever been turned away with a food or something.
No, but do you remember the fear you had as like a child?
And guess why?
Things in?
We got turned away. I was out with Sharon, Oliver, and Steven in back east, and we the kids had like 20-ounce sodas, like Fanta or something, and we're walking, and the lady was like, "No outside food or drink. You can throw that away." So my kids are like, "Oh, okay." And so they go put it in the trash. Then I'm talking with them. They then go around the other side of the trash, pull it out of the trash through the little ticketing gate or whatever. So then I'm standing in line for the snacks, and I'm like, I can't believe that lady made us get rid of our drinks.
And they're like,
she didn't. They're right here. And I was like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, honestly. Like, because it's honestly a crime what they charge at the movie theaters for snacks.
I saw that they were charging $6 for a little thing of red vines that I know you can get from CVS or Walgreens for $1.
Yeah, it's actually crazy what they charge there. So I'm like, I don't really feel that bad.
Once a year, I'll buy a treat from the movie theater to justify the other 364 days of the year that I sneak food in. So I could be like, I've bought food.
And honestly, it's the one time that you forgot to bring something.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't intentional. It was absolutely accidental.
Yeah. So I'm very excited for the Eras tour. What are you doing to prep?
Yeah, I've waxed my back. I am pretty sure that I'm going to get some new trainers. I actually am having some trainers, Nikes, delivered this week in other related news, but I'm going to prep them. Our shirts are coming from Etsy, which I'm very excited about. I'll probably just so for those of you that will remember, last week we talked about theater etiquette.
Yes.
I've really gone back and forth on this because
on how we're going to behave.
Yeah, because I want to just let it be, the most insane, crazy, jumping up and down immediately. One of my very good friends, Mallory, I met at a concert. I'm totally open to becoming best friends with the people that sit on either side of us and going to their dog's funeral or their mom's second marriage, wedding.
Yeah.
I think we could totally...
we need
that
a
could
script
happen
the second we sit down to be like, okay, girls, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Girls, case and nays, how are we handling this? Row D, can we get a what? It turns into camp and we have spirit.
I will tell you though, when Mastermind comes on, I will be full body. What if I told you none of it?
And that's because we'll have known that we've made it to the end of the show. Yep. And then it'll be that last little bit of hanging on.
What was the song at the actual Eras tour that you sang that you were like, I think I might pass out? You were
probably
screaming.
Love Story, because I'm singing it with Charlotte.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing at how hard she is going for this song that she was not also alive for.
Charlotte has a very Scarlett Johansson, deep, raspy voice. So when she is singing, it's like Stevie Nicks is screaming. Like Miley Cyrus, she could have smoked a pack before she started.
Oh, and she's got both hands up.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. It's dark at this point, right, during the show.
Yeah.
Even though it was at SoFi, so you could still see the sky a little bit. But so it's dark, and she still had sunglasses on as part of her vibe because that was her look. And so I have all these videos of her jumping up and down, sunglasses on, both hands up, screaming, and then interjecting, I love you, Taylor.
But screaming I love you, Taylor!
I love you, Taylor. You're the best.
And I love it. Her voice is so awesome.
Yeah, I'm taking the kids the week after. So we go this week, and then I'm going the week after. And this week, Steph and I have kind of a thing where if we're going to the movie and we're not sitting in the little private box, we do, because we go $5 Tuesday most of the time, we do buy the seats next to us so we don't have to sit by anybody else. And we decided not to do that for Taylor Swift
because they were $26.
Well, we didn't want to deprive anybody else of
the experience of sitting next to us.
I was not so careful.
You said of the experience. I said of sitting next to us. Made it about us, the way I love to do.
Yeah, a pro. But going out to see it with the kids, because I'll have already seen it once, I decided to buy both the seats on either side of us as well, so we can have a little bit more room to move, dance.
Yeah, the song that I almost passed out to at the Eras tour was the 10-minute All Too Well version.
Oh my gosh, yes,
I
of course.
sang that with like my pelvis bone was in that song. I screamed that song.
I saw a TikTok where a girl for her birthday, and it said instead of singing me happy birthday, they're singing the 10-minute version of All Too Well. And it has everybody in their family with the phone out, like scrolling through the lyrics, singing along to this girl for her birthday. And I thought that is actually such a baller like tradition that instead of it being happy birthday, I'm sad I missed it for this year because it would have been really funny this year.
Yeah.
To be like, okay, instead of happy birthday, I want everybody to sing an Usher song. Pick one. Do you know them? That's just hearkening back to a couple episodes ago where I didn't know any Usher songs, and I got teased online by a lot of people, including my
unimpressed.
Mom. Yeah.
As they should be. I was like, no, that's an Ellie song.
But then there were people that were also like completely on my camp of like, I'll sing along, songs. But I don't know a ton of Usher songs.
But that's where I said, I think you'll be so surprised when he comes out. You're like, oh, I know all of these songs. Like, I mean, there might be one or two that you'll be like, literally never heard of this. But you know Usher songs, you just don't know them.
Yeah. I was a little nervous. I ended up looking at the set list for Taylor Swift before we went because I was nervous that she was going to do like an obscure
songs, yeah.
And like, I guess arguably Marjorie kind of constitutes that for like, I mean, I love the song, but I didn't feel like it got a lot of hype when the album came out. And so I listened to that a handful of times so that I could sing along.
That song is so sad, especially if you have a dead grandma. That's a dead grandma song.
Oh, way to bring it down on a Wednesday morning.
I just like that song. Makes me like get to hear teary every single time.
Also harkening back to a previous episode.
Yeah.
We're kind of hitting all cylinders.
Honestly.
Also, but I do have advice for people going to the Eras tour. We talked about, hey, if you're there, read the room. But then I was thinking, what happens? Because my anxiety is it either could be Chase and Stephanie, like, what? Like our own tour, giving a show to everybody around us. That's an absolute possibility. I'm also a little nervous that it will have been the end of a very busy work week for me because I'm in trial. I have multiple hearings and mediation. And Friday, my work day is pretty busy. So part of me thinks, I wonder if I'm going to get to the theater and just want to curl up with a blanket and just like let it wash over me. Yeah. And so I have advice for people who, if you're kind of in that ilk, or if someone next to you is not reading the room, I have a really good piece of advice.
Okay, please.
If you're going to give them feedback or ask them to like
relax,
chill, you have to use a Taylor Swift lyric. So
you need to calm down.
You need to calm down was one I was thinking of.
Love
or like,
it.
Hey, I'm trying to shake it off, but you keep like bumping me. So could we watch that girl? Like, I knew there'd be trouble when you walked in, but you did vomit on my purse, you know. Or the other one is like bad blood. You could be like, hey, I don't want any bad blood, but you need to like calm down a little bit. I'm trying to shake it off, but you know, like I just think you have to come up with.
You have to use a friendship.
You have to use a phrase from a Taylor Swift song to give feedback. And if you're going to really go there, you should only speak in Taylor Swift lyrics or add a Taylor Swift lyric for like the entire experience. So I'm talking concessions, the ticket booth, people next to you. You just are weaving in Taylor Swift lyrics the whole time. That's the challenge.
After we go to the Taylor Swift movie, would love to go to another movie next door and just listen to the Taylor Swift fans in the movie theater next door. Because we are going opening night. We're not getting the people who are like, let me just cozy in and watch this movie.
I just wanted to see what this concert was about.
Yeah. No, that's not who's going.
There are people that are going there instead of therapy. Yeah. Like, that is absolutely...
As they should.
Yeah, the people who are going opening night to the Taylor Swift show should be in therapy, but we're not. We're going to our Taylor Swift therapy, and it's cheaper.
Oh, way cheaper. Unfortunately.
I saw there was a TikTok as well of like, I think it was a clip out of Oppenheimer, like an audience watching Oppenheimer, and then next to it's like, "'Cause now we got bad blood," and everyone's like screaming the lyric.
It's the dead silent part in Oppenheimer right before the bomb goes off.
Yeah,
You just
and
hear
it's
bad
just
blood.
like it's Shake It Off. The place is like vibrating. They think it's
We're gonna set
Dolby
off an
surround.
earthquake.
Nope, it's Taylor Swift surround.
As it should be.
Yeah. Rest of your week. How's it been since
Pretty
we spoke
good.
last?
I had like a very great, calming, relaxing week. I did go to a Taylor Swift event, which was like a quartet doing Taylor Swift songs.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, we went for date night last week. I hate to just keep talking about Taylor Swift, but if I must, it was great. Started out a little rusty. The first song, I was like, oh no, what did we do? And then it ended up being like really beautiful. And a couple of songs that just had like a single tear performatively come down my face.
And then you're like, Javen, did you get it?
Javen, did you?
Javen, grab the picture. I've got a tear.
It was really pretty though. It was like dark room, but they had like a bunch of candles around them. So the ambiance was really nice.
Oh, cool.
So
I saw that being advertised on social.
yeah, it was really
pretty.
fun. I think there's another one coming to Thanksgiving Point.
Oh, neat.
But it might be the same night that the...
I think I saw that. I think that's why I was like, oh, this isn't happening.
no, that's not going to work.
Do you know what I do want to go to is, have you seen those things where like the symphony plays along or the orchestra plays along to a Harry Potter movie?
You've never been to one of those?
Well, don't say it like everybody and their mom's been.
But you love Harry Potter. I cannot believe
I
you've
know,
never
I
been
just
to one of
haven't.
those.
I'm sorry, I'm not perfect.
I have tickets for the last one.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you go?
I've been to almost all of them. They're amazing.
Without me?
Well, I thought that you were going too because you're a Harry Potter fan. I just thought that you already had the tickets.
We didn't even make it to episode 8. This is over.
We're breaking up.
We're breaking up on air.
On air. We're going to have our first walkout.
We just finished Prisoner of Azkaban last night. So we're just moving through. That's your favorite one?
That's my favorite one.
My favorite one is number 5. Order of the
Footprints.
Phoenix.
No.
Order
I
of the
was wrong.
Phoenix is... Yeah, I was like, no, I know my movie. That's Dumbledore's army. That's my favorite part of that's my favorite like concept explored in the show is Dumbledore's explored in the entire series is Dumbledore's army. So that I have to give it to number 5.
That's fair.
I went to the Ben Rector concert.
Ooh, how was that?
It was so good. Our really kind and generous friends Todd and Eileen took us. Shout out Todd and Eileen. She is just like one of the kindest people, and she also takes voice from Stephen. We met her and her husband Todd on our cruise that we did that Gentry was performing on. And cruise friends are risky because either you become friends and then you literally never. I couldn't tell you people's names. Like I'll just never see them again. Or there's like a once in a blue moon that you meet like a really cool group of people and then you figure out how to sustain a friendship after the seas. Well,
and it's really hard because cruises are unhinged.
Yes.
Like people are starting their day off double fisting soft serve.
Yeah.
So like it's crazy to make a friendship over double fisting soft serve.
Yes. Hey, go ahead. Yeah, keep going. You nailed
so anyway.
So we went to the Ben Rector concert with our friends we met on a cruise ship. And it was a really, really fun concert. It was an acoustic set at Sandy Amphitheater. And I'd never been to a show where the artist did a Q&A in the middle of his set. He was just like, hey, y'all are here. It's an acoustic set. It's meant to be chill. I'd love to do like a Q&A. Do you guys have questions? Here's how it's going to work. I'm not answering anything super political or super personal, but I'd love to, get to know you better and you get to know me, which I was just like totally captivated by. I thought it was so cool. He was unbelievably charming.
Yeah.
I love going to a concert and the artist like surprises me for having such a like cool, chill, relatable, accessible personality.
True.
And so it was really, really fun. We sat on the front row, which was always like VIP.
Bougie.
So we felt very fancy and it was really, really great. So thanks Todd and Eileen for taking us. And then I went to dinner with one of my friends. Do you have friends that are like, you may not because you're a little bit younger than me, just barely, just like a teeny tiny bit younger than me.
Just like 8 years.
But we're...
I don't actually know what it is.
I don't either, but don't
Math.
say it. I actually think it is. Don't get that way. Where you are friends with like the mom, but you're also friends with like the daughter, like an adult-ish or teen daughter.
I pretty much have that with your mom.
That's true. Yeah, where you're like friends with also the second generation. That's how I kind of am too with my friend Grace. I'm friends with her mom, and then I'm friends with Grace. And we went to dinner this week, and this weekend, Stephen was on tour, so I had an extra night, and so Grace and I went to dinner. And she's like in her early 20s, and so cool. Ugh. And so I heard a few things in the wild that I never thought I'd actually hear, like bet.
Oh.
Like she unironically
did she throw out like
used
a
the
bus
word
in?
bet. No, then she did, spitting facts. Oh, you're spitting facts right now. And I was like, I was just suggesting a restaurant. Like, I simultaneously felt the most cool I've felt and incredibly old.
Yeah, it's also when somebody in their like teens right now or early 20s like validates your coolness. You're like, oh.
Yeah, like your niece.
Yep.
When Stephanie's niece sent her
Shout
a message.
out Morgan.
Yes.
She sent me a message being like, oh, I love your podcast. And I was like, oh. My 12-year-old niece thinks I'm cool.
Yeah,
oh
same.
Gosh.
My 16-year-old niece Ava also sent me I love your podcast, and then she shared it with her friends on her page.
When they share it with their friends, I'm like, oh, you
like,
actually
oh
think this is cool.
We are amazing.
You're not embarrassed of me, your favorite aunt?
And then they're like, no, now I am.
Well, now you're acting desperate.
I wish you wouldn't have ruined it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, shout out to all the people who help us feel cool and old.
Yeah, and desperate.
That was the other thing too, is that she was wearing like wide leg trouser pants, and I was like, we wore these, like these are coming back
when I was a kid.
But back when I was like young, that was very 90s fashion has totally come back with a vengeance, which will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what the next wave is if we go back to like the 2000, like if we just are kind of on this 50-year repeat. No, I
would love to see gauchos in the wild again, because
what about men capris? Do you want to bring back man capris?
Men capris I call capants. Capants. Because for a woman it is a capri, but for a man it's a capant.
That might be one of the funniest things you've ever said.
Especially because
wait, I have a question. Did your dad ever wear capris?
No.
Okay,
Kevin
my dad
is not a capri man.
My dad wore them once. He came back from Vietnam, and I don't mean serving, I mean visiting. They build schools and orphanages there, so they do good work in Vietnam. But it's not like my dad got back from Nam.
He got a little lofty.
Yeah, and so he came back in like kind of like linen-y capris and
a capant.
And I said that it was a capant. He probably wouldn't have worn them as long. No. That's a great way to kill someone wearing them. What are these
capants?
Oh, these are so cute. Those capants are excellent. I love it. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so we're not bringing back the capant, but definitely what do you think the next sort of fashion trend, like the next wave that will make everybody who lived it roll their eyes, but everyone who's young think they're like the coolest thing?
Maybe like paisley.
Oh, that's true.
I feel like paisley was on everything in the early 2000s.
What about like Von Dutch trucker hats?
Yeah, or like True Religion jeans.
True Religion jeans. We start bedazzling the hell out of the back pocket.
Yeah, that was later 2000s though.
Yeah, I know. I don't care what it is. I'm just saying the idea of if Ed Hardy...
Did that just give you Vietnam flashbacks?
For a different reason. I have this picture of me wearing an Ed Hardy hat in Vietnam.
And it's like...
It takes me back to Vietnam.
A little to the side.
It was not a little to the side.
It's just quarter to the side.
But it had a little bit of hair peeking out from underneath.
We will find that.
That's the thing. That will be the new thing. Is people will be like, yeah, we just love like our ironic trucker hats, our bejeweled jean pocket, and oversized flannel.
I would
that also
love
has
for the
bejewels.
double collar to come back.
Oh, if people start pulling out an Abercrombie and Fitch double collar,
Double
absolutely
polo.
not.
Honestly, mostly just because I'm like, I would love for you guys to have those embarrassing photos too.
What's the most embarrassing
criminal.
photo of you growing up?
It's really hard to say because it was so beautiful when I
You
was
were
young.
gonna say that.
No, I actually do have a couple of photos where I'm in this leopard bathing suit, and I must have just come out to the living room, and I'm fully like Zsa
Feeling
Zsa
it.
Gabor posing in this leopard bathing suit that is too small. So it is like like
It
an
is a
80s
French cut.
swimsuit. It's up there, and I'm just like, never been more beautiful. Like it's cute. It's cute. I was cute.
One year, my parents took us to Disneyland,
Mm-hmm.
and they dressed us in the most horrific matching shirts that you could probably see from space. Like they were so loud. And I have this picture, I'll post it, of me looking at the Beast, Beauty and the Beast.
In the shirt.
Looking at him, and I'm surrounded by my siblings with all of us in the same shirt, and we look like a circus act has
And
come to Disneyland.
The beast is
like,
looking
"Ooh,
back at you.
ooh, that's cute. Ooh,
You scared me.
who are you? Did a witch hit you as well? No, that's my mom. She picked out the most like 1990s vibe. The super boxy shirt, the sleeve holes that are like 3 sizes too big for for my little noodle arm. It's like flopping out
So
of there.
cute.
So cute. And I had these really, really big 2 front teeth. Like I had definite bunny teeth.
Adorable.
It was all right. There's a phase. Everybody has a couple of years of photos that you never want really to see the light of day. And I was definitely in that phase.
That reminded me, I did have a couple of years where I wore my pants literally to here.
She's pointing just underneath her boobs.
So high up, and I found the photos, later in life, and I showed my mom. I was like, how come nobody told me to pull my pants down? She goes, we did. We tried. You said it wasn't comfy. Like, my pants are literally up to my breastbone. They're so high. It's so ugly.
And you are feeling yourself. Like, cut to that moment. It's like when a kid comes down wearing a fedora and a mismatched jacket.
Yeah.
And you're like, I love that you love this so much. We're going to take a picture of it so that in the future you could talk about it on your podcast.
I'm going to find a photo of it to post for this episode.
I'm going to find a picture of the Beast one as well. It's actually very, very funny, but so weird. My mom also dressed us in a lot of denim. A lot of denim. We have a set of family pictures where we're all in denim. And so as a nod to that, for our family pictures this year, we did straight denim.
I love it. We did a denim, but like it was mixed with sunflowers for some reason.
Yeah, that's on brand.
Like, I have a picture of me. I'm under 1 year old. Denim, like overall dress, kind of jumper situation, and a hat that has like a brim, sunflower pattern, and big sunflower in the center.
My sister had a very similar hat.
Like, that
is a true. That was those fake sunflowers. You get them at Michael's. Someone clipped them, hot glued them onto a hat. Mm-hmm. That's very 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
wearable flowers. I hope those come back.
Wearable flowers and Capants come back. All right, well, let's give some advice. We've got our weekly advice segment, and we're trying to figure out exactly what to call this. Where we got some feedback. Advice. No, we can't, honey. We keep saying daily advice, but we're a weekly podcast.
Let's vote. But good, bad advice of the week?
Or?
I got nothing else.
Okay. By a surprising majority, that one won. Oh. Okay, but our advice is don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's a general kind of trope or a expression, an idiom that says, hey, don't put all of your hope in one thing. kind of diversify your hope, I guess is what they're saying. So that you're not disappointed. You put all your eggs in one basket and then the basket drops and it breaks all of your eggs. That's where the expression comes from.
Oftentimes people say this referring to like dating, of like, don't just choose one option. Like make sure you have, different options. What I don't like about this actually, when I was dating, I constantly felt like I was putting my eggs in other people's baskets. No, not like that.
Okay.
I heard it. But you really should be collecting eggs in your basket and you should have a variety of eggs. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. He's such a child. So
you're talking about taking people's eggs and putting them in your basket in respect to dating.
Okay, we're going to scratch the eggs because we have a child in the room. People should be trying out for your team, not the other way around.
I like that. I like that lens in which you're viewing dating.
Yeah.
Yeah, better than the eggs in the basket.
Eggs in the basket.
I think they should be courting you. I love that.
You should have a basket full of variety, but it's your basket. You're not putting your eggs in other people's baskets.
Got it.
You're in charge of your own basket, and you are collecting eggs.
Mm-hmm. And you should make sure that if you're putting your egg in someone else's basket, you're being safe. As safe so that the eggs don't break.
Make sure that you wear gloves when you're collecting eggs from your
Proper
chickens.
Protection.
From your chickens.
Here's my thing. I actually think I look at the expression like putting all your hope in something else.
Yeah.
And I think that I actually disagree. I'm like, put all your eggs in one basket. Be all in. If you're disappointed, it's not like those are the only eggs you're ever going to get. You get to make more eggs.
Yeah.
And so I'm like be actually all in. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Be all in. If it goes to heck, then it goes bad. And you can just reset, recharge. And then I hate like I don't want to get fully in. I want someone who's all in. Be all in.
Well, I think that also helps eliminate when you're all in. Like if people feel confused about you being all in, then you shouldn't be all in.
Yes, agreed.
And it's a very easy way to judge whether or not somebody's ready to be all in. I don't know why this is just about dating.
Yeah,
but like,
I think of it as just like in life, we try to like, we caution people from getting too invested, too excited about something. And this expression to me is used to kind of quell someone's excitement or someone's, maybe it's used to like quell someone's reckless, putting all their eggs in one basket. I guess in those circumstances, that is a great expression for you. But generally, I think people are like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't get too excited.
Don't get too excited.
And I hate people regulating other people's excitement.
Yeah.
Or like energy or joy. I'm like, just let them be them. That's my advice.
Yeah. Agreed. Good advice.
All right, we got some stories in the news. Excuse me, of people that we are giving some advice to, or that's spurring some life advice. This first story comes to us from 2Fab. Fans defend Diana Agron after rude photographers yell at her for blocking Sarah Jessica Parker. So she was at the New York City Ballet Fall Gala to celebrate the 75th anniversary of that. And Diana Agron she's Quinn from Glee. She's also done, she was in, I think, the number 4, I Am 4, or whatever. Like, she did a couple of other, she had, her star kind of rose for a little bit, and then it's definitely settled and simmered. And so we watched the video before we filmed this morning of the photographers. They're just doing, it's not even a step and repeat. It was just, right before the step and repeat when people are kind of chatting.
Yeah. And
Diana's there talking to a man, and I think it's actually an employee because there's a man behind Sarah Jessica Parker who has the same giant oversized poppy. Mm-hmm. So she's just being lovely and kind. Sarah Jessica Parker is behind her, and the photographers start yelling at her that she's not important.
They were rude.
They were unbelievably rude, saying, "Move, you're ruining an important shot. Get out of the way." And so then Diana kind of hears them and is like, "Ooh," and then slides, and then they photograph.
She was very gracious about it.
Very gracious, and then they're photographing Sarah Jessica Parker, and you still hear in the recording the photographers mocking Diana.
Yeah, I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, And, well, she's ruining the shot. The shot really needs to be Sarah Jessica Parker, blah, 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 blah. And this just made me think, because I was driving here and I was thinking, okay, what advice do I want to say about the Diana story? I'm over people being dicks.
Yeah.
I'm over it. This well, I'm just really honest. I say it like it is. No, you're a dick.
Yeah, you're being
I just
abrasive.
don't want to hold back. Wouldn't you rather me tell you the truth? No, I'd rather you not be a dick. I'm over this, well, it's kind of the business, as you and I, we're now in the public eye. I can't go to a Walmart without them stopping me and making sure I paid for my stuff. We're famous now. And what I'm not interested in are people being dicks to us because we're famous.
Yeah, it's kind of like that video of Post Malone where he's signing things. And this kid, he's literally right in his face, not here to here away. And this kid goes, he yells something like, "You suck at singing." Post Malone is signing and he looks up, has the most genuine reaction and is like, "Why would you say that? That's so rude." And the kid immediately apologizes. But it's crazy to me outside of paparazzi act nuts all the time.
Yes.
But to be a paparazzi, shouldn't you know this?
It drives me unbelievably mad to know, first off, I'm sad that this is now Diana getting back into the news, and we haven't heard her for a hot minute, and so I'm conscientious of that. But I'm just so over, one, that she had to hear it, that then people are defending, well, Sarah Jessica Parker's bigger than Diana Agron and blah, blah. And I just think, dude, none of this would have happened if the photographer would have just held his little teeny camera, and I'm talking about his camera.
Yeah.
Held his little camera and just waited his turn, because it's literally Sarah Jessica Parker was just walking to a step and repeat. You're going to get the shot.
Yeah.
You don't need her sitting in the background like a weird candid. And so that was so important to you. Just want to be a giant dickhead and have that be recording. Ugh. And I bet you $1,000 this photographer does not even care.
No, he doesn't.
I think he just thinks, yeah, that's showbiz, baby.
Nameless photographer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say Sarah Jessica Parker, not that Diana Agron didn't look good. Sarah Jessica Parker looked amazing.
Yes.
The long bow in the back, I would wear that to work today. It was obnoxious.
You show up next time, which is the full ball gown off the shoulder.
It was
your hair
so
done.
Cute though, the bow in the back and the long strands. Mm-hmm. I thought it was so classy. Oh yeah, no. So
she's beautiful. A fashion icon, 100%. Nobody gets to be a dick. Period.
Yeah, no. Don't be mean to Diana Agron.
Don't be mean to anybody unless. Well, never mind. I was gonna give a couple.
Yeah,
of people.
No. We just said don't be mean.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, I have a confession.
Okay.
I am slightly obsessed with Sister Wives.
Okay.
I live for Sister Wives, and Steven is now watching with me. He's fully invested. I cannot watch an episode without him.
So I have literally nothing against TLC, Sister Wives. That is my bread and butter. I love reality TV. Sister Wives is one of those that I just never got into, and now it's been so long. I know everything surrounding it, mm-hmm. but I never watched it, so I don't have the emotional depth of anger.
I've watched it for years, and then I didn't watch for maybe a year or two, and I just jumped right back in wherever they were doing, and that was super easy. And Steven and I love it, and so this story we are so thrilled about. Good. This is Christine Brown, one of the former Sister Wives. Now, to catch you up, you know that he had 4 wives at one point.
Yes.
Christine has left, Janelle has left, Mary has left. So now Cody just has 1 wife.
What's her name?
Robin. Sobbing Robin, because she's always
crying.
Got it.
That's how I heard it in my head.
Yeah. I had commented something about her being the problem in the relationship, and that comment alone got 1,000 likes. So many people were yeah, we agree. Yeah. Sobbing Robin sucks. But Christine Brown was the first one to leave. And so she tied the knot this weekend with her husband, David Woolley, in Moab, Utah over the weekend. And Janelle, the other sister wife, was in attendance as well. They've kind of band together.
Okay, you know what's crazy, though? She technically has never been married.
Correct. She's never legally been married.
This is her first time being married.
And she's famous for being someone's wife.
Yeah. From what I do know about Sister Wives, though, and the, episodes that I have seen, Christine looks so happy now. She is absolutely glowing. And despite everything, to have, like, a happy ending, like, this late in your life, and it's not even really that late. Like, she must be in her 40s.
No, she's 51.
Oh, it's not even that late in her life. But, like, she is glowing. She is so happy. And I just don't think that she ever envisioned that for herself.
Yeah, this is, as a divorce attorney, I have a lot of people that come to my office and are just like really devastated about the current state of life that they're in. Mm-hmm. And I'm always like, life is full of chapters. Let's close this one out so you can start a new one. And Christine is like the perfect example to me of like, as hard and rough as it could be to close out a bad chapter, closing it and moving on to something else only brings space for something beautiful and new. Yeah. And I love this. So my advice, first off, she said that she wanted to marry like a tatted, balded, bearded motorcycle man, and she did. And I'm obsessed with that. Yeah. Reach for the stars. But my general advice is, people that get stuck in whatever current chapter of life they're in, and they're like, well, this is just kind of where I'm at. I think, like, be brave, like Christine, be willing to end a chapter so you could start something new.
Put all of your eggs in a new basket.
Put all of your eggs in a new basket. No, I think just her starting this new chapter, I was just like, I was so pumped for her. I sent this story to Steven, and he was like, can we send her a wedding gift? Like, we got it. Like,
where is she registered?
We want to support her so much. So Christine's team, if you're listening to this, please let us know if she's registered anywhere. We'd love to send you a gift.
At Bath & Beyond.
No, they closed. It's like
no, they were bought by Overstock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were bought by Overstock. If you go to look up, actually, I think they have their website. If you like look up Bed Bath & Beyond, the website still exists, but it's technically Overstock.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. They basically like bought their name. So Overstock, I think now, is kind of, Bed Bath & Beyond is their front-facing branding, because that's such like a household name.
Yeah, I remember getting those coupons in the mail and not understanding how coupons worked. And being like, they're giving away money?
It's crazy how Bed Bath & Beyond was like the wedding registrar. And then it kind of became an as seen on TV place where you would find like a marshmallow shooter there next to like a duvet. And you're like, what are we doing here?
Fully. A chia pet was right next to a mixing bowl. You're like, I guess I'll take one of each.
The KitchenAids and the chia pets.
The KitchenAid and the hearing aid. Like, that was kind of a bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, so we're really, really happy. People who are stuck, our advice, follow Christine. Like, do the hard thing. End a chapter, start something new. I love that so much. And don't you dare dump on people starting new chapters.
Yeah.
I'm all about start that new chapter in love.
Agreed.
All right. This is the story that you sent me that you were super excited to tell us about. Mm-hmm. So give us a little bit of the headline.
Okay, so Mean Girls stars Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Seyfried, and of course I don't know...
Lacey Chabert,
who played Gretchen Wieners, reunited to shoot a commercial for, I believe it was Pepsi. Mm-hmm. Now, I think this is probably likely for a Super Bowl ad.
Of course. Yeah.
Which, is a few months off, so we might not see it until February, right? But I think we need to talk about other reunions that need to happen for some Super Bowl ads. Mm-hmm. And I have a really good one.
Okay.
Okay. So SAG-AFTRA is still on strike. Hear me out. You have a bunch of actors on strike right now. In a union, what we need to do, we need to reunite the old Newsies cast. We bring Christian Bale, David Moscow, who's the guy who played the newscaster, Bill something. We need to get them together. They need to sing Seize the Day and do the dance. You all know the dance if you don't. They need to sing Seize the Day and talk about the importance of unions. because they are the reason that I know what a union is.
And why we think that they're good.
And why strikes are important in history. Okay, so literally call me SAG-AFTRA because that is a fantastic idea for your movement.
I just realized, does that mean that Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Seyfried, and Lacey Chabert are violating?
No, because so essentially, like, the SAG-AFTRA means that when you like set up a set, it has to be contracted through a specific union. And that's usually partnering with like the studios to set that up. For commercials, you don't really have to go through your union because commercials are more set up like through your management, I believe. And commercials are shot in a day, so there aren't all these rules and regulations that they have to follow that like SAG-AFTRA would enforce.
But okay, here's my advice: if you're doing a reunion,
made all of that up.
Wait, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I tuned out for a second because I was pulling up this thing.
That's what I think it is. I'll be honest. If it's not, sue me.
No, she doesn't.
This is my attorney.
She doesn't mean that, and you still have to pay. Here's my frustration with this story.
Okay.
The fact that they don't have Rachel McAdams. Yeah.
I don't think she wants to because I think Rachel McAdams does what she wants now.
I know, but they should have made it enticing enough for her to want that. Everybody's for sale. I just am so sad that they don't have a complete cast. So if you're doing a reunion and you're not including somebody, that person needs to be dead, in jail, or like in a book taken by Jeffrey Epstein. Like, those are the only people that should not be given second chances.
I bet Aaron Samuels was there. He's about as thirsty as Lance Bass.
They drink the same water.
Yeah. They're like obscure hosts of a cupcake show, and you're like,
how do you keep coming back here? I thought we got rid of you.
Yeah.
I just am sad. If you're going to do a reunion, you got to have everybody there. Yeah. That'd be like not having Phoebe in a Friends reunion. We'd be like, who the heck? Or not having Niles in a Frasier reunion. Or I'm just trying to pick like ones that would be reunion
Don't say
eligible.
Frasier, you're aging yourself.
No, I'm just picking ones that could come back for reunion.
Yeah.
Where it would matter is, I just hit that microphone. I'm so sorry. I punched my face with the mic. Ooh. Podcasting is a contact sport, you guys. And everyone just thinks it's super easy. You just sit there and chat. And it's like, no, we could hurt ourselves chatting. Because we talk with our hands. My
abs the whole time.
Yeah, these are not good. These chairs. So I think if you're going to do a reunion, you got to have everybody there or don't do it.
Yeah.
That's like not having Donatello there in one of the Ninja Turtles. I'm hitting these really right out the park. Yeah.
It's like, pop culture things.
It's like I should have a pop culture podcast. What? Okay, our next advice. I love this so much. Axiom Space. Prada joins forces on tech design for NASA's next generation of lunar spacesuits. So Prada has taken the helm to take the astronauts to space and make them look chic. Now, what's so interesting to me is the Prada logo is actually kind of, I think, works. It's a little space. It's like a patch. Uh-huh. But they can't, Prada's really also known for like showing some good skin and having silhouettes. I can't imagine there being a lot of changes you can make to the spacesuit. Like, they're not going to be doing spacesuit with fringe. Yeah. Like, they're not going to be doing like, well, we wanted to explore suede. We wanted to see what with a nice heel would do to this. Like, no, they're moon boots.
Yeah, it's great. We need to have a discussion about what really warrants having a designer label on there.
Yes. It does not make any sense to me. No one is asking an astronaut what they're wearing. They're asking where they're going. Yeah. Like, that is and they a lot of time in fashion, they talk about where's this girl going when they see a look and they're like, where's this girl heading? Spoiler alert, they're going to space. Like, we're not really tailoring. If you were to close your eyes and say, what does someone look like when they go to space? Boom. We all thought of the exact same astronaut. I was going to say costume. Astronaut garb. Yeah. And I don't see Prada. Like, I'm just trying to imagine this, like, completely unaware, like designer. Prada's Italian, right?
Yeah.
So this Italian designer,
Prada, Gucci.
Prada, Gucci. So Prada comes in and Prada's like, you know what I want? We got to do bags. They're like, that is not, actually doesn't work.
No.
They're like, okay, no bags. Got it. We're thinking
They're
sunglasses.
Gonna have the
like
strap bag. It's utility.
No, it's going to be like the helmet, but it's like sunglasses glued on top.
A sun visor.
A sun visor. They're like, what are we doing for hair and makeup? They're going to be wearing a helmet.
They have a helmet.
Oh God, a helmet.
It'll be like they'll make the helmet smaller.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like with a hat.
We don't do plus size. We have to make it smaller.
That actually is a designer's like favorite part of this whole thing, because they regulate everything you can weigh from the shows I've seen on Space, Apollo 13, and for all
They're like,
mankind.
they have to be thin. We love it.
They're like, we live. They're like, okay, but how thin can we get them? They're like, that's not healthy.
We want to make the suits less bulky.
It's just so funny. Of all people, like the people who should be partnering with NASA is like Carhartt.
Yeah.
Dickies.
The Wranglers.
Like I want Wranglers. I want astronauts brought by Wrangler, and then they bring in a bunch more cowboy like vibes. Like it needs to be workwear. Mm-hmm. Nobody's thinking we need a delicate heel and something shiny and dangly on top. That's like an Italian designer. I want
Prada's
like
gonna have
American.
a huge triangle in the center of the chest.
100%. Like it's just such a bizarre. You may as well have asked Kim Kardashian to do like Skims underneath it.
Honestly, she'll probably do the suit underneath.
100%. I bet she's working on that deal right now, stealing that from Courtney.
She's like, oh, I could have done that?
Yeah, fully. Has Courtney worked with Prada recently? Because I know Kim loves to kind of swoop in there. Okay, I guess not. So funny. So good luck to Prada, and good luck to the astronauts who are like, how is this news? This is what makes the news? This is what people are talking about, the spacesuits?
People love designers.
Okay, our fifth story is so funny to me. It's just like the funniest. We did not see this coming, and other people did, which makes this even better. This says the emergency alert test. So that's like where our phones last week just started like boop,
going off.
All devices.
Yes.
So the emergency alert test. Prisoners busted with phones behind bars. So imagine you're in prison. Mm-hmm. You've got this phone, and I guess you get a warning that it's going to do that, but there's no way.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe if all of them didn't or whatever, right? We should probably talk. If you've gone to prison and had a secret cell phone, how did you get updates? Could you software update?
I don't even understand
how
some of them are posting on TikTok.
I don't either, but I love going down prison talk. Where I'm just like, whoa, I can't believe people are actually live feeding this.
Like you're watching a prisoner do like I'm a savage. And you're like,
classy, bougie, ratchet.
Did you murder somebody? Like, what do you mean?
Are you there for arson? You are a savage. We get it. Anyway, so their phones went off in the middle of the day when everyone else did. And those guards are just walking around, and they confiscate multiple phones. Multiple prisons across the United States reported this. Do you think that was the test? Do you think that do you think when they were, because I'm trying to understand exactly what the test is. I guess it's for like emergencies and, a impending nuclear explosion or something.
Honestly, don't send me a notification.
No, just let it happen.
I don't have a bomb shelter. Like, I'm fully on side of like, if there's a zombie apocalypse, if like we have a plague that turns us into mushroom people, kill me.
Yeah. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I am walking right into it.
Do a zombie.
I am not like under any misguided notion that I will survive.
No.
I will maybe survive a day.
No,
that day though, if I survive a day or two, those 2 days will be the worst days of my life. Well, I'm like, you know what I'm looking forward to? Ending my life with the absolute worst fearful days of my life. That's how I want to end. Nah, brah. I want to go to the movie, go to the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Those zombies are coming in, popcorn in hand. I'm digesting it. I get converted to Zombieland. That's how I want to go.
I don't think I want to be a zombie though, because you just don't know. So I've told.
Wait, hang on a second. You're saying you don't want to be a zombie because, and I'm quoting here, I just don't know.
You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know if like...
They also don't exist.
Says who, okay? If
You're like, the experience
happen,
for the zombie has not happened yet.
No, like it's just kind of like, what kind of zombie am I going to be? Am I going to be like World War Z zombie? Am I going to be I Am Legend zombie?
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Like,
are you thinking? I always think whenever I think zombies, I think Walking Dead. Boom, that's it.
The I Am Legend zombie, I would be one of those. They are cool. And terrifying.
The definitive ranking of zombies.
And cognitive like abilities are still there. They're smart. So like that zombie, yes. Turn me into one of those zombies, I could do that. If I'm like Walking Dead eating brains like zombie, no. Kill me. Please.
I want to be killed either way. I don't care. I also think like if it was like a volcano was erupting or like the ice caps melted and we're all going to be flooded, I'm just like, just take me.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally ready for the next adventure. How did we get on this? Because we were talking about prison cell phones, and I just feel like somehow we went left pretty hard. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but I do want to keep talking about this. So the thing really, as a woman, women in post-apocalyptic situations, you know what I am? A baby maker. No, thank you.
And you know what I am? I'm someone that has to like hang out with other dudes doing watch. And I fall asleep pretty easy. I gotta be honest. I'd be like, skills, great at talking, could negotiate with the best of them. They don't have brains. I've dealt with that on the other side. But then they're like, we also need you to protect, and I'm going to have a firearm. I'll be like, 1, accident prone.
You'll be
2, fall asleep a lot.
You'll be up on the parapet with them and just be like...
Up on the what?
I don't know, on the parapet,
I thought
you know?
I thought it was like a military
just, like,
name.
Be up there, like, doing watch and be like, do you guys remember in, like, 2014 when Renee Zellweger, like, came out and she had a new face?
I'm like, do you remember Britney Spears freaking out? That's kind of like these zombies, don't you think?
Do you think I look like Britney Spears dancing with the knives, but you'll have 2 guns, and you'll be like...
I'm like, or is this giving more Deadpool vibes? Like, and they're like, please go away.
Please stop. Please shoot yourself.
I'd have to go to like a collection of gays, honestly, like a gay colony. I'd be fine because I think honestly we'd do pretty well.
You just have
because people would first off, they'd stay away from us.
Yeah.
And second off, we are scary mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get a pack of us together, and we have not eaten a carb in 4 or 5 years, and so we are angry.
The zombies walk up and you just start reading them for filth, and they're like,
we're like, no way, you're not coming up here in those 2008 jeans. Okay, distressed my ass. You look terrible. Go back. People are like,
try harder. Next.
We're like, oh really? Why aren't you buff like him? We pit them against each other. Like, yeah, you know what she was saying about you behind your back? She said, no, I'm the real zombie queen. Just saying. Just like we gay BFF our way in. Like, that's our spy.
Yeah.
That's like our way of like infiltrating them as we just start drama and then like sneak out. We're like, it's done, girl.
It's done.
Yeah. That's the only way I survive a zombie apocalypse. For
Roasting.
sure. Long story long, if you are in prison, I'm pretty sure everybody's phone got a warning. You should have just had your phone off.
Yeah.
You should have taken that battery out. You should have just like put it somewhere where the sun don't shine so nobody could find it, and you keep that phone.
You know, the people who didn't have their phone alarms off, though, everybody was like sitting around at 2 p.m., like eating lunch, and they all were just like...
And they, oop.
Because, there was like a few that went off.
And they all point to 2 or 3 people like, oh, idiots. Do you think you'd do well in prison?
No. You don't know.
Not at all?
Not unless they sent me to like a Martha Stewart prison. There's no way I would survive in prison. Me as like a non-confrontational people pleaser.
You could thrive.
No.
You'd be someone's wife real quick.
So fast. That's the only way I would survive, honestly.
I think I'd do pretty well. Because I think I'd be like, hey, I'll give you legal advice, but I need some protection. Like, I have my skill set. What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I'd be like, hey, you want to get out of paying child support right now? I can probably help work that deal for you, but I need some protection. I think I actually have a set of skills that have value in a prison context. And so I could leverage those for safety. And I think that would be my only route.
I have 0 abilities that would help me in prison. I'd be like, do you guys want a scrapbook?
That's what we want to know. This is our weekly, this is the feedback we want. So if you made it to this part of the episode, you just need to tell us on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being Stephanie and 10 being Chase. Where
I don't
are
think
you?
you're 10. I don't think, like, you're not 10.
Okay,
You're like,
I'm like a 5.
Like,
okay, 1 to 5.
You're not the top of the scale.
That's true. I don't have a face tattoo. I would not do well in prison. Okay, on a scale from 1 to not doing well to 10 doing well, parentheses, Chase, with an asterisk. Depending on where, just give us one number of where you think on the scale you would be for how well would you do in prison. Yeah. It's a short stint. It's 10 years. You're in and
10
out. 10
years?
Well, what, a year? If you can't do well in a year, grow up. If you struggle in prison after, 24 months, you're really upset about that? I served an LDS mission. I can do anything. Okay, it's a 5-year stint. How well are you going to do within 5 years? You get out in 3 with good behavior, in theory.
I would die in there.
What number are you? Out of 10.
1. I'm telling you, I'm not made for prison.
I'm probably like a 7. If it's a 5-year stint, getting out in 3, I could do 7.
I am gagged.
Okay, maybe
There's
a 6.
no way.
Oh my gosh, Brady, I'm not going to bet against myself. We'll
know,
say 6.
know thyself,
we'll compromise
okay?
on 6.
Sorry, I didn't know we were being Delulu for the rest of this episode.
That is what we want people to comment. Out of 10, 1 to 10, where would you fit?
Yeah.
How well would you do in prison?
Terribly.
And then parentheses for a bonus thing, what would be your commodity that you could trade for protection in prison? Keep it G.
French braiding. I'm telling you, I have no skills for prison.
But you're going to be up against some queens who can really braid. And you're going to be like, I actually love a little French braid halo. And do we have dandelions out here anywhere? They're like, girl, you came to the wrong place. Start building
flower crowns.
That's your commodity.
I take the toilet paper, I fold them into paper flowers, and then I put them in people's hair.
And you dip them in like you've ground up Skittles or something, so it could be like multiple colors. You get it from commissary. For having not thought about this, we're nailing it.
I guess I could survive in prison.
For not having thought about this, I actually think I'm more of like a 4. I think you've talked me up to at least a 4.
Because of toilet paper flowers.
Dipped in Skittle powder for color. Like, tell us you have no ability to survive in prison more than thinking that the ability to make flower crowns dipped in Skittles will save you. Like, so that's what people are really after. They're after drugs, and they're after, like, access to the outside world. And you're like, come over to my booth, you guys. You look more of like a sunset Eve. I love this for you. I've done it mostly in oranges with pockets of yellow, and I think it'll bring out your hair. They're like, I'm looking for switchblades and 2 packs of cigarettes.
I'm like, oh, next door.
You're like, that's Janet in the back.
But do you want to feel beautiful first before you find it?
They're like, no.
No.
Bye.
Like, okay, love that for you. Have a good day. Bye.
It's so funny. We both are like a 1.
Yeah.
I just think
Thank you for meeting me at reality.
I'll end this on a real moment. I'm definitely a 1, maybe a 2. If we were in a co-ed jail together, we would do much better.
10.
We would thrive. We'd run that, but I don't think they allow that for like safety
unfortunately.
reasons.
Well,
that's our episode, you guys. We love you. Thank you for listening and tuning in each week. We will be back next week, and we're going to have a little extra episode between now and then. So we are looking forward to a guest that you'll get to visit with in the next week or so. So thank you guys. Have a great week. Go out there, do some good, give some good and bad advice to people.
Lots of bad advice.
Yeah, just be present wherever you are. Okay. And have fun at Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.